Hi, I'm Allie Lucina, and this is my informative speech. Tom Cruise, Elizabeth Moss, and John Travolta. With the rumors and hype about celebs' everyday lives, their religion is bound to come into play someday. And the new popular religion is Scientology. Scientology has had some poor publicity in the past, but it has also been very popular within the confines of Hollywood. According to Scientology's founder, L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology is a 21st century religion. Man is a spiritual being with the ability beyond what he previously thought capable. Basically, through Scientology, everyone can overcome everyday issues. Over the years, Scientology, a religion of community and understanding, has had a lot of publicity. One of the main publicity points is Tom Cruise, who is very high in the rankings in the Church of Scientology, along with very popular in Hollywood. In a book called Going Clear, Scientology, Hollywood, and the Prison of Belief, Cruise says that when you practice Scientology and you drive past an accident, you have to stop. You feel like you're the only one who can help. Scientology is a way of happiness, peace, and a way to unite cultures. Cruise also says that communication is key in Scientology. If you don't know something, you ask, and you don't talk if you don't understand. Tom Cruise is one of the most outspoken within the Church of Scientology. One of the more quiet is Elizabeth Moss, who was born into Scientology. She says that the Scientology is a new slate on life. It's a religion about personal freedom and human rights, and this includes gay rights. She says that we all have the right to lead the life we wish, and this applies to the gay community. Scientology does not specifically state whether being homosexual within the religion is right or wrong, but it's up for interpretation, as well as many other points within the religion. According to an article in the New Yorker by Lawrence Wright, issues pertaining to gay rights and Scientology have come up before. Tommy Davis, the lead spokesperson for Scientology in 2009, received a letter from screenwriter and director Paul Higgins requesting a public statement denouncing the Church of San Diego, because the leader of the Church of San Diego signed a Proposition 8 of California, which sanctions that California should only sanction marriage between a man and a woman. Everyone interpreted this as the entirety of Scientology supporting Proposition 8, and according to Moss, this is not true. Higgins wrote in his letter to Davis that we all deserve equal rights, and he also wrote in that same letter that he wished to resign his membership from the Church of Scientology. Davis and Higgins are very popular in Hollywood and also very high up in the rankings of the Church of Scientology, so this led to a lot of negative publicity. In previous correspondence between Higgins and Davis, Higgins stated that he feels strongly about Proposition 8 because most who practice know that there is an anti-gay statement within the religion. Higgins, in an interview with Anne Fung much later, claims that Scientology is a cult. And most who practice do not listen to criticism and think that everyone is out to get them. He had also found evidence of child abuse and involuntary confinement within the religion, and this led to his decision to leave the Church of Scientology. Others have decided to leave the church because of the issue of disconnection. Higgins wrote in a letter to Davis, "We all know the policy exists. I didn't have to search far. I didn't have to look past my own home." Higgins reminds Davis that years before, Higgins' wife had been a subject to disconnection because of something that Higgins' wife's parents did 25 years prior that was very trivial when they were leaving the church. This left his wife in a terrible amount of pain. Disconnection was also a fear of Kate Holmes when she left Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise wished to send 6-year-old Suri to a private Scientology school, basically disconnecting her from the outside world. And in their very public divorce, Kate Holmes did not wish for that to happen. So after they had officially divorced, Kate Holmes was basically disconnected from the church. Divorce is not the only public issue that has brought negative press to the Church of Scientology, but in 1997, the French courts had ruled that Scientology was at fault for a man's suicide because he had attended a lot of classes, Scientology classes, and had gone into a lot of debt. Hagens wrote a letter of protest to the French courts stating that this would set a bad example and that no priest or minister would ever feel comfortable offering help or advice to tortured souls ever again. There have been good and bad publicity about Scientology, so people often misunderstand what people's true beliefs are when practicing Scientology. Oftentimes, Scientology is meant for good. And so before you judge the newspapers and tabloids, do a little research.